Iconic foods that were discontinued for no clear reason dives into the puzzling disappearances of our favorite snacks and drinks. From McDonald's McRib to Crystal Pepsi, Dunkaroos, Surge, and 3D Doritos, these classics vanished without a straight answer. We'll unpack what might push a product off shelves, the fickle market, shifting tastes, and the food industry's mysterious decision-making process. Strap in for a nostalgia-fueled tour of the flavors that almost stayed, and the questions that still linger. 1. McDonald's McRib, the mystery sandwich that vanishes without warning. Less than P greater than. Picture this. You're craving that tangy barbecue pork sandwich shaped like ribs, and you rush to McDonald's only to find it's mysteriously disappeared from the menu again. The McRib has been playing this disappearing act since 1981. And nobody can quite figure out why McDonald's keeps pulling it away from loyal fans. Less than P greater than. Less than P greater than. The McRib flopped when it debuted in Kansas City in 1981 and was pulled from menus just 4 years later. Yet somehow, this failure has become one of the most requested comeback items in fast food history. Basic supply and demand economics will tell you that a good chunk of the McRib's popularity comes from its scarcity. Scarcity adds tension and excitement and anticipation, according to business experts. It's like McDonald's figured out how to make us want something more by constantly taking it away. Less than P greater than. 2. Planters cheese balls, the orange-dusted childhood dream. Less than P greater than. Nothing quite compared to that satisfying crunch and fluorescent orange dust coating your fingers when you popped a Planters cheese ball into your mouth. Planters cheese balls were discontinued in 2006, but still have legions of fans, as evidenced by this petition. For over a decade, these beloved snacks sat in their iconic blue canisters, bringing joy to snackers everywhere. Less than P greater than. Less than P greater than. The discontinuation came out of nowhere, leaving fans confused and heartbroken. The snack was discontinued in 2006, despite its loyal following, leaving fans wondering why such a beloved product was taken away. While Planters cited shifting market demands and a focus on other products, the outcry for cheese balls was loud and persistent. Thankfully, fan campaigns eventually worked their magic. Thankfully, Planters agreed and brought the iconic snack back in 2018. Less than P greater than. 3. Crystal Pepsi, the clear cola that made no sense. Less than P greater than. It was initially released in the United States and Canada in early 1993 and discontinued by the end of that year. Crystal Pepsi was supposed to be revolutionary, a clear cola that tasted like regular Pepsi but looked like water. The marketing campaign was massive, featuring Van Halen music and futuristic themes that promised this transparent beverage was the future of soft drinks. Less than P greater than. Less than P greater than. But here's the thing that still puzzles people today. It actually tasted pretty good to many consumers. Because the company rushed to meet the demand, it never got the formula precise and the taste was off. The higher-ups also insisted on a clear bottle, which isn't suitable to preserve the soda. Sure enough, customers quickly abandoned Crystal Pepsi, and the company was left with a multi-billion-dollar mistake. The real kicker? According to Coca-Cola's chief marketing officer, Sergio Zeman, Tab Clear was released at the same time, as an intentional, kamikaze effort to create an unpopular beverage that was positioned as an analog of Crystal Pepsi to kill both in the process. Less than P greater than. 4. 3D Doritos, the puffy triangle revolution. Less than P greater than. In the late 90s, someone at Frito-Lay had a brilliant idea. What if we made Doritos three-dimensional? These weren't your flat, traditional tortilla chips. 3D Doritos made a splash in the late 1990s with their unique puffed-up, triangular shape and bold flavors like nacho cheese and spicy ranch. These snacks were different from traditional Doritos because they had a hollow, crunchy texture that made them stand out. Less than P greater than. Less than P greater than. Despite their initial popularity, they were discontinued in the early 2000s due to decreasing sales and changing market trends. But the story gets interesting. Fans never forgot about them. There are several fan pages for Doritos 3D, but the biggest is the Facebook group simply called Doritos 3D, which lists its mission as to find all lovers of Doritos 3D. to unite and to speak of our passion of Doritos 3D. It currently has about 12,000 followers. The company tried a comeback in 2021, but it wasn't quite the same magic. Less than, P greater than. 5. Twinkies, the snack that almost died forever. Less than, P greater than. When Hostess announced bankruptcy in 2012, America nearly lost its mind. However, in 2012, Hostess Brands, the makers of Twinkies and other snacks like Ding Dongs and Ho Hos, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. The Twinkies' supply started to dwindle. Consumers scrambled and began snatching them up at a record pace in fear that the cream-filled snack cake would disappear forever. The panic was real. People were literally hoarding boxes of Twinkies like they were preparing for the apocalypse. Less than, P greater than. Less than, P greater than. People raided supermarket shelves, and Twinkie enthusiasts were selling the product on eBay for staggering prices. One seller listed a box of Twinkies for $200,000. The absurdity of paying thousands for a cream-filled sponge cake really showed how attached Americans had become to this simple snack. Fortunately, a private equity firm named Apollo Group Management and Metropolis & Company saved the day when it purchased the snack side of Hostess for over $400 million. Much to the delight of Twinkies fans everywhere, the snack cakes were once again returned to the shelves for general consumption nationwide. Less than, P greater than. 6. Dunkaroos, the cookie dipping phenomenon. Less than, P greater than. Dunkaroos were the quintessential 1990s snack, featuring fun-shaped cookies and a sweet frosting dip. The concept of dunking your cookies into frosting was a hit with kids, and the product had a strong run until it was discontinued in 2012 in the US due to lagging sales. The little kangaroo-shaped cookies paired with vanilla frosting were perfect for school lunchboxes and after-school snacks. Less than, P greater than. Less than, P greater than. What made their disappearance so puzzling was that they remained available in Canada, proving there was still demand for the product. Dunkaroos. Similar to koala yummies, Dunkaroos took an adorable animal and made it edible. You'd dip the kangaroo cookie into vanilla frosting and life was good. Unfortunately, they no longer sell them in the States, though you can get them in Canada. In response to fan demand, they made a comeback in 2020, but the reboot didn't have the same widespread availability as the original. The flavor combinations also changed slightly, sparking debates among longtime fans about whether it truly captured the essence of the original. Less than, P greater than. 7. Surge Soda, the extreme citrus that lost its buzz. Less than, P greater than. This caffeinated beverage of the 90s was the Coca-Cola Company's response to Pepsi's Mountain Dew. Both drinks had a brightly neon aesthetic and an extreme vibe attached to them, but only one made it into the mid-2000s and grew to 28 flavors. Surge was marketed to teenagers and young adults who wanted something more intense than regular soda. Less than, P greater than. Less than, P greater than. Due to declining sales and just an overall diminishing sense of enthusiasm for the brand, Surge was discontinued in 2003. Despite Coca-Cola's failed attempt to compete with Mountain Dew, there remain some fans of Surge long past its discontinuation. This means all hope is not lost, even if it's been more than 2 decades since the soda was on store shelves. The discontinuation was particularly frustrating because the drink had developed a cult following. The beverage developed a large following from 1996 to 2003, when it was first discontinued. Then it came back briefly in 2014, when it was sold in limited batches on Amazon. At the same time, Surge could be purchased in slushy form at 7-Eleven and Burger King. However, the drink promptly disappeared again, leaving its fans craving more. Less than, P greater than. 8. Butterfinger BBs, the bite-sized chocolate dilemma. Less than, P greater than. The small, round version of Butterfinger's famous candy bar first made its debut in the early part of the 90s and was featured in an advertising campaign starring none other than The Simpsons. These perfectly poppable candies solved the problem many people had with regular Butterfinger bars. They were messy and hard to eat. The BBs gave you that same crispity crunchity peanut butter experience in convenient bite-sized balls. Less than, P greater than. Less than, P greater than. As for when Butterfinger BBs were officially yanked from store shelves, it seems that they were discontinued by 2006. The official reason was straightforward enough. In reply to a post on X, Formerly known as Twitter, the candy manufacturer stated, "Sadly, Butterfinger BBs were discontinued due to low sales." However, many fans suspect there were other issues at play. However, the Daily Meal points out that a low melting point may have been a part of their demise. Fans certainly took notice of this fault, as evidenced by Reddit user Arson Wells pointing out that pouring the BBs straight into your mouth was the best strategy, so your fingers didn't get completely covered in chocolate reaching into the bag. Less than P greater than 9. Honest Tea, the healthy choice that got squeezed out. Less than P greater than Seth Goldman and Barry Nalibuff started Honest Tea in 1998 as an alternative to sugary beverages. They eventually sold the brand to Coca-Cola in 2011, becoming one of the most notable examples of a small brand that attracted the attention of one of the biggest beverage companies in the world. For years, Honest Tea represented a healthier option in the beverage aisle, offering organic ingredients and lower sugar content. Less than P greater than then suddenly in 2022, Coca-Cola decided to pull the plug. Then, in 2022, Coke said it would eliminate Honest Tea. It was a decision that Goldman, who was no longer associated with the brand, called a gut punch. Exactly 1 year ago, I was informed by senior leaders of Coca-Cola that Honest Tea would be discontinued. Despite the brand's success in the natural channel, supply chain disruptions during the pandemic helped make it a victim of Coke's fewer, bigger bets strategy. The timing seemed particularly odd given the growing health consciousness among consumers. Less than P greater than 10. Altoids Sours, the pucker-inducing powerhouse. Less than P greater than Altoids Sours was introduced in 2004 as a spin-off of classic Altoids mints. These weren't your grandmother's breath mints, they were intensely sour candies that came in tantalizing flavors like tangerine, mango, and citrus. Introduced in 2004, Altoids Sours quickly gained a dedicated following. Their intense flavor and unique tin packaging made them stand out in the candy aisle. Less than P greater than despite their popularity with sour candy enthusiasts, they met an unexpected end. The sour candy was popular for a few years but was discontinued in February 2010 as national demand started to decline. In 2010, Mars made the difficult decision to discontinue Altoids Sours due to low sales. The discontinuation left many fans disappointed. Some even started online petitions asking for the candy's return. The good news? Altoids' parent company, Mars, sold the recipe to another company, Iconic Candy, and that company is behind this second coming of these legendary hard candies. This time around, Altoids Sours are instead called Retro Sours, although the aesthetic of the iconic tin will largely remain the same. There's a lot going on here, I know, but I won't bury the lead. Altoids Sours are back, and they are available now. Less than P greater than 11. The food industry's mysterious decision-making process. Less than P greater than. Looking at all these discontinued favorites, one pattern emerges clearly. Most companies never provide satisfying explanations for why beloved products disappear. It's very rare that companies address the reasoning behind their decisions to discontinue products. For instance, Hershey's never sufficiently explained the discontinuation of s'mores bars even though consumers still talk about the treat more than a decade later. Less than P greater than. The truth is that food companies make decisions based on complex factors we rarely see as consumers: supply chain costs, manufacturing efficiency, marketing budgets, and profit margins all play roles. McDonald's is leaning hard on the scarcity marketing tactics right now. We see it with the McRib. We see it with their adult Happy Meals, which had limited edition toys. McDonald's is putting scarcity marketing everywhere they possibly can. Sometimes what looks like a mistake to us might actually be a calculated business strategy. The mystery surrounding these discontinuations often makes us want them even more, proving that absence really does make the heart grow fonder, especially when it comes to our favorite snacks. Less than P greater than